Hello, guys. Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
Good morning, Nasconian. We are happy
morning.
to be live with you today. How is your day going? And wishing you a pleasant Monday. We welcome you to this live streaming from NASCO Group. As we speak now, we are live on virtually all our platforms. You find us on Instagram, you find us on our Facebook page, and you also find us on YouTube. If you stay with us till the end, we have a surprising package for you. Okay? My name is Stephen Adetolu, and I'll be your host for this exciting live session. Today is a significant day as we join the global community in celebrating the United Nations Youth Skills Day. We hail all our youths. This day was established by the United Nations, in the year 2014 to highlight the importance of equipping young people with skills for employment, decent work, and entrepreneurship. The objective is to raise awareness about the critical need for youth to develop skills that will prepare them for the evolving job market and ensure their active participation in achieving sustainable development and global peace. This year's theme is titled Youth Skills for Peace and Development, emphasizing how essential skills development is for fostering peaceful and prosperous society, of course, like Nigeria. At NASCO Group, we are passionate about the growth and development of young people in Nigeria and, of course, globally. Today's live session is one of our many interventions as part of our corporate social responsibility initiatives. We are committed to empowering the young people with the necessary skills and knowledge to thrive in today's competitive job market. We believe that by investing in the potential of young people, we are contributing to a brighter future for our nation. That is what makes us NASCO. To dive deeper into today's topic, we have two amazing guest speakers joining us. First, we have Mrs. Sarah Bitrus. Mrs. Sarah Bitrus is a seasoned HR practitioner with many years of experience. So today, she will be bringing her extensive experience in human resources that will provide valuable insights into what employers are looking for in young candidates. Secondly, we have Miss Aliyah Suleiman. Miss Aliyah Suleiman is a recent graduate who is currently undergoing her mandatory one-year NYSC service in Nigeria. She will share her journey, her experiences during the NYSC, and how she's preparing to enter the labor market. We are excited to have a meaningful conversation today and hope to provide you with practical advice and inspiration as you embark on your own career journey. So welcome, guys. Today promises to be a great day. So Madam Sarah, let's dive in.
Yeah.
How has it been for you as an HR practitioner? What's the experience? I mean, in the industry, among young people. I mean, these years you spent as an HR practitioner, how has it been?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here and to interact with young people because like they say, they are the future of tomorrow.
Correct.
Um, Being a HR practitioner has been challenging and also a rewarding profession. It's a profession that people get insights to how they live, and then you know you are just that go-to when it comes to solving people's problem in the workplace, and then coming with other initiatives to ensure that this workforce is also satisfied. So it's all encompassing. Honestly, I would say it has been a very rewarding experience to be able to, you know, listen to people, try to manage their problems, try to solve their problems. It can be chaotic and hectic, but also very rewarding.
Interesting. If I get you correctly, you say it has been very rewarding. And that rewarding part is what we want our young people to take home today. Let's not forget, if you are just joining us, you are joining the live streaming of NASCO Group, currently streaming on our Facebook page, on our Instagram channel, as well as on our YouTube handle. Okay, we are celebrating as well as commemorating the Youth Skills for Peace and Development as initiated by the United Nations. In NASCO, it's part of our corporate social responsibility to see how we can empower the youths for the better tomorrow that we all seek. So, Alia, you are welcome once again to this live streaming session.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Alia, how are you doing as a youth corps?
Well, I'm doing very well, sir.
Okay.
The experience has been so challenging, but we give God the
Okay.
glory because we are pushing on and God is helping us. So we are doing very well, sir. Yes.
Okay. So the experience has been so challenging, and this is what we're going to be discussing today. And this is why we have a seasoned HR practitioner in the person of Sarah Bitrus, who is going to be helping us to unravel or to mitigate some of these challenges, especially you and other young people who are watching now and who would watch the recorded session. So, Madam Sarah, what do you think are the top skills? I mean, in the 21st century, what do you think are the top skills that professionals are currently looking out for?
Okay, top skills, like you said. First of all, when you are hiring, let's just go through the process of the hiring of hiring. When you're hiring, you post job vacancies on, now with the advent of social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and so on. When you post ads, what we normally do is post ads and then we get applications from everywhere. Now, when we get applications in forms of your resumes, your cover letters come in. Now, once that happens, we screen your resumes and your cover letters. Remember that your resume, call them CVs so that you guys can relate. Your CV, your resumes, your cover letters is what allows the hiring manager to see you at a glance, because it is that document that we get to see before we see you. So it is very important that while you are sending your resumes, you highlight your, like, I'm going to repeat it again. It is very important that you highlight your most relevant skills, because it's those skills that will actually attract the hiring manager to you through your CVs. Any skills out there that are relevant for jobs. You know, there are skills that are relevant for certain kinds of jobs. For example, if you say you are a salesperson, there's a skill for that. If you say you are an architect, you need an architectural degree. Am I right? And then you need maybe some other things to back up those. Well, even though every job on its own has a required skill for it. If you are in HR, you will need certain skills for HR. If you're in procurement, you need certain skills that are specific to procurement. But there are these other skills that we want to call employable skills,
Okay.
because they cut across every facet of technical skills. Let me use that term. They cut across every other. We call them employable skills. Once you have those skills, you can be employed anywhere in the world. Now, you want to ask me what those skills are. There are
Correct.
simple skills like critical thinking. There are simple skills like adaptability. There are simple skills like leadership. There are skills like communication. There are skills like teamwork, self-management, time management. Those are the kinds of skills that make you stand out, because these other skills are specific to your jobs. But when you have skills like, let's say, critical thinking now, no employer wants somebody that will just come and sit down and when he's faced with certain problems, he's looking for people to come and help him solve it. Meanwhile, why I'm employing you and why I'm paying you is to help me make my own job a little bit easy. So I need you to think for yourselves. You see, like young people, once you're in school, they do all the thinking for you. Your parents think for you. Your parents solve your problems. But in the labor market, we need you to develop that critical thinking skills, that problem solving skill. Even communication is very key, because even if you have the best degree in the world, but you are unable to communicate with people around you, I'm not sure not anybody will want to have you in his or her system. You need to learn to be adaptable. You cannot say, where I'm coming from, oh, this is how it is always, so nobody can change it. My guy, my girl, nobody is going to employ somebody that does not know how to adapt. So these are skills that employers are looking for. There are skills that you need to develop so that you can present those skills as a way of every employer, I can tell you, is looking for skills that will not, or rather, let me say, every executive or business owner is looking for a candidate that, you know, I don't have to put so much effort in training. This person is coming with it. So it is very, very important that you highlight those skills, because there are those skills that will help you stay effective in the workplace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sarah Bitrus. I mean, firstly, you highlighted the fact that your CV, your CV is just a summary of how your prospective employer sees you at a glance. Okay, am I right with that? Then you
Yes, sir.
mentioned a
Yes.
whole lot of skills that employers are looking out for. You said something about communication, team working, adaptability. Now, this brings me to the next question, madam. How important is soft skill compared to technical skills in today's job world or job market, as the case may be?
Okay. First and foremost, I want to say you need both skills. You need
Okay.
to have both technical and um, and soft skills. I'll tell you why. Because the technical skills will help you get the job, right? But the soft skills are what will help you keep the jobs. It's important that you know that your technical skills is what you use to come in, but it's your soft skills that will help you keep that job. So, from what I said, you will know that both skills are very relevant, but one supersedes the other. Because if you do not have soft skills, you will not be able to manage your technical skills. I'll give you a typical example. If, for example, I say that um, I am I have a degree in business management. It's just a degree, and then there's a job opening for it, and I get the employment, and I come to the organization, and I'm fighting everybody, right? And I am fighting everybody in the workplace. I'm showing them that I know more than them. You know, yeah, intensive listening is a soft skill, because when you listen is when you can act. You understand? I'm not listening. I'm always isolated. Once there's a job that is given, I will say, it's not part of my portfolio, so I'm not going to do it. You see, you have come into the organization through technical skills. But because you are fighting everybody in the workplace, because you do not listen to instructions, I don't think anybody wants to keep you, because you need these other skills to help you keep the job. So bear in mind that both skills are required, but one of the skills supersedes the other. You know, in modern days now, there's so much automations, right? So you need these other skills like I said, critical thinking, even self-management is important. Because when you are in the workplace, your technical skills got you in, but you cannot manage your time in the workplace. You come to work late, you have excuses, you understand, and then you can't manage time. Already that is already a minus. If there's an appraisal and those soft skills are listed, you are failed. And so you find young people in certain organizations and they feel they have arrived, and they come with so much attitude in the workplace, and they don't last for 6 months, and the employer says, please come and go. You understand? It's not as if
Yeah.
you do not have the requisite educational skills, but because you do not have certain soft skills like your relationship with people, like listening, like simple things like time management, even self-care, the employer tells you to simply go home, because your degree is not is you in. Always know that your technical skills will get you the job, but your soft skills are what will help you to keep that job.
Excellent. I like how you ended that part of your submission. Your technical skill will help you get the job, but you require your soft skill to enable you cruise throughout successfully in that job. Thank you very much for those insights. Alia, now I want to come to you. Given what the HR practitioner has said so far, I want to ask you, how has your school, how has your education in the university helped you, okay, for the job that you are looking out for?
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. I must say I'm glad to be here, sir. Okay, the education, I would say, during the course of study has helped me acquire technical language and soft skill techniques, and it has helped me skills like the soft skill, which is the communication, problem solving, critical thinking analysis. It has installed professional values, ethics, and strong work abilities. So I must say to an extent that the education has groomed me to to face the workforce.
Absolutely, Alia. Alia, I want to ask you this question. I mean, when you were in the university, were you engaged? Which of the sporting activities? I mean, were there other social activities that you participated in school?
Yes, sir. Um,
Okay,
I would say the social activities I was engaged in is the music thing.
okay,
We have in
okay. All right, Alia. What were the lessons you learned, okay, in those activities that you think is going to help you navigate, okay, through the labor market and even onto your quest for a sustainable job?
Okay, so engaging in those curricular activity has
Yes.
helped build my self confidence. It has
Okay.
helped build my communication skills because during the sporting activity, you get to meet with people from different background, you interact. So it has really built my self-confidence and the communication skills. You get to communicate with people, and it has also add to building up my capacity as to interacting with people, knowing how to manage their temperaments. What during the communication process, you get to know that there are some things you approach, or some words you say to someone that he might not take it lightly, and there are some people that they are easy to approach. Yes, so I think these are some of the experiences.
Thank you very much, Alia. Alia, I'm still going to come back to you, especially since you are a youth corps member. Uh, Prepare for this question because I'm going to be asking you how the activities, that has been put in place by the NYC scheme, how those activities are helping you prepare for your job quest. I'm going to ask you this question. So, Madam Sarah, can you give us some common mistakes that you see young people make, especially in their quest for their job or in showcasing their skill, especially, in fact, in how they put their CVs together? What are the common mistakes that you've seen and possibly proffer solution to them in your experience so far?
Okay, the question, the common mistakes on their CV of them interesting now. Okay, let me go this way. There are mistakes that young people do when they put their CVs together. You
Okay.
see, first and foremost, you need to identify the kind of job. Before you put your CV together, you cannot be everywhere. You have to have a target job in mind, right? So it is very important that your target job, you identify that first. Now, after identifying your target job simply allows you to be focused on your search when you go to LinkedIn or any other recruiting site. Exactly you are looking for. Then the next thing is to use a professional summary. Now, what do I mean by a professional summary? It's simply a summary of who you are, a summary of what your qualification is, what your skills are, and your achievements, all in one place. Please, it is not a one-page document. Name implies is a professional summary. Just tell us who you are in summary. Why it's important for you to do that? Remember, I said you have to put your best foot forward. So you have to think of yourself and sell yourself in your professional summary. Now, after you do that, so CVs are not your normal date of origin, date of birth, religion, and so on. That's not it. Now, after you do a professional summary, you have to quantify your achievements. Like I said before, it is your CV that gives us the first insight to who you are. So on that CV, you read as much as possible to tell us who you are in summary. So you need to quantify your achievements. Now, young people will say, we did, what achievements do we have? You see, that's why as young people, you cannot just sit at home and expect things to come to you. You need to go and look for them. You need to build your CV so that there's an effort on it. You understand? Now, quantifying your achievements is, for example, if you are a salesperson, you cannot just write on your CV, I achieved sales. What did you achieve and how did you achieve it? You have to tell a story around it. Okay, I was able to grow sales from this point to this point, right? If you are in probably my say that you helped in reducing turnover, that is not telling the hiring manager or the recruitment manager anything. But when you quantify your achievement, okay, we were able, if you like, you can say we, it shows that you are in a team and you can work well in a team. So you are saying we were able to reduce employee turnover rate from this point to this point. You need to quantify it so that the person that is looking at that your CV knows that you are a goal getter and you know what you're doing. And then if young people say that we are not working, we lack zero experience, even if it's farm that you're going to, you are able to say that we were able to harvest this crop and this last year through this. Must learn to quantify your achievements on your CV. The next thing is you must showcase the soft skills that you have. Remember, I said that it is your technical skills that will get you in, but it's your soft skills that will help you keep it. So, in the soft skills section, your CV must have that. Your CV must have those soft skills that you are able to cultivate, because your soft skills, you don't get them in schools. It is you that will build them over time. So it is important that you showcase that soft skills that you are. If you are a good orator, put it there. If you are a good time manager, you put it there. If you are a good, whatever it is that you do, that is even if you are a young person, you can have leadership skills, put it there. You understand? So your CV must showcase your soft skills. Another thing that you must put in your CV is use relevant keywords. If you go to a site and there are languages that the hiring manager used in posting the job, you go back to your CV and ensure that CV is actually the same. So that when he's looking at your CV, remember I said you target job. So when he's looking at your CV, he knows that yes, this person that is sending this CV is actually knows what the person is requirement. So you are speaking the same language with your hiring manager. Last but not the least, you must learn to proofread your CVs before you post them. It is important that you proofread and then you format it. Nobody wants to look at your CV and your CV is everywhere. Remember that part of what is your soft skill will be is details to paying attention to details. Very important that when you please no copy and paste. It's very, very important that you will proofread your CV. Some of you go to LinkedIn, right? And your CV that you post on LinkedIn are always different. Make sure that whatever site you upload your CVs on, what your profile is what is on your CV. So you cannot see on your CV that you are a job seeker. Meanwhile, on your profile, you are self-employed, right? So
Mm,
those are the
mm.
that young people do on their CVs. They just copy other people's CVs without ensuring that the information on the CV is a reflection of who they are. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah Bitrus. Like I said, Sarah Bitrus is a seasoned HR practitioner. She's been in the business of managing people, recruiting people, sustaining them, and we are gleaning from her insight. And you agree with me, she's dishing out, insights that will cost you a huge amount of money to go elsewhere. You know, if you have to get these insights elsewhere, you will pay huge amount of money. But here is NASCO, okay, through a HR resource, giving out these insights, these practical hands-on insights free of charge. And if perhaps you are just joining us, we are live on our Instagram handle, on our Facebook page, as well as on our YouTube channel, streaming live in commemoration of the United Nations Youth Skills Day. Okay, and the theme by United Nations for the year 2024 Youth Skills Day is Youth Skills for Peace and Development. Okay, and we are doing this as part of our corporate social responsibility. We believe in a better future for Nigeria, and how else can we build a better future but to equip our young people? And this is one of the initiatives that we are embarking on. So, Madam Sarah, what came out strongly so far is the fact that a youth, a young person looking out for a job must possess what we call the soft skill. Now, I want to ask, what are ways that you would advise a young person to acquire some of these soft skills? Because it is true, we'll get that from Alia. Some of these soft skills, unfortunately, may not be taught in school. Okay, may not be taught completely in school. So, from your experience, and just advise a young person how he can acquire some of these soft skills.
Okay, like you rightly said, Mr. Stephen, soft skills are just character traits, or should I say behavioral traits. It is inherent in many young people, except if they don't want to develop them. Because you don't get them in schools, you are going to make a mental effort to develop them, because they are not something that you get outside there. There are things that you just have to get them on your own by trying to build them. if, for example, communication is my like, for example, if I work in a media house, or if I work in an organization that requires me to always, interact with people, you need to, like I normally tell young people, that the internet is a sea of knowledge. You understand? You need to go back and see how people have succeeded in these various skills, and what they have done to help them, manage them. Like I said, there are behavioral traits, there are personal traits that you need to develop over time. It's going to take time, but for you as a young person to be able to develop them, you will need to interact more with people that you see those traits in. I'll tell you, like, some, if you have mentors that you look up to say that, oh, I like the way my pastor speaks, I like the way my friend speaks, I like the confidence of my friend. You need to be like an understudy. You understand? You need to be like an understudy with these people and learn from them. You see, your greatest mistake is when you see yourself as being above certain people and you don't want to learn. But these people are the ones that actually carry them. Like we rightly said from the beginning, they are behavioral traits that you have to develop over time. So you'll be able to humble yourself enough to read about. Reading is very, very important when you want to develop certain skills. There are certain books that talk about these skills and how you can develop them. That's one. If you're a lazy reader, there are people who are like mirror images. So you need to find those people and be like an understudy with them. So it is very important that as young people, you develop these soft skills, because no school is going and develop them as being part of who you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, Alia, what are some of the activities, okay, that the NYC has put in place? I mean, extracurricular, I mean, social activities, I mean, empowerment activities that the NYC has put in place in during this your service year.
Thank you very much. The extracurricular the NYC has put in place that you venture into and find yourself interacting with people. We have the manual, which helps to evaluate your capability, your strength. You participate in such activities. That's the manual that helps
Okay.
guide you moving on with your visions. That's for the manual. And then there are social activities that you participate in, dancing competitions, you participate in debate, you participate in the speech presentations. Now, and then there is the skill acquisition skill, which is the entrepreneurship, which helps to give you a vision of how to establish a business and be self-dependent and become your own boss. So these are some of the activities the NYC has set in place. Virtually not all that I've mentioned, but these are some that I have participated in, that I am sure that I was able to participate during the camp experience.
Interesting. So, Alia, I think from what you've just said now, you you are looking forward to being exceptional in the labor market, considering the fact that you participate in most of these social activities as instituted by the National Youth Service program. Now, can you give us some soft skills that you have acquired from some of these extracurricular activities are set aside by the NYC? What are those skills, and how do you intend, okay, to bring them to the fore as you transition from your NYC scheme to labor market and eventually to to working as an employee?
Because again, you sure that I have been able to build myself to this standard, which is the entrepreneurship skill. Looking forward to the skill I participated while in camp because I ventured into the food preservation and processing, which has to do with catering services. I ventured
Okay.
into that. So the skill I was able to acquire, it's which gave me the right to say that I am focusing on my competence in skill. Looking forward to establishing business in the workforce. Forward to seeing that I establish a business that will employ young people and train them, thereby making impact to my community and contributing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a glitch. There's a glitch coming from Alia's. Okay, Alia, I think you will fix your network issues. There's a glitch. We can hear you clearly. Okay. While I move on to Madam Sarah here. Madam Sarah, in the course of a young person going for interview, there are tendencies that uh, they will not be taken. Okay, they will not be accepted in some interviews that they go for. How do you think, or what advice would you give a young person on how he can navigate job rejections, and how such a youth can stay motivated, okay, in their job search? Because I'll give you an instance. There were instances where a young person, he's so confident that he was going to get a job, he prepared adequately for it, and unfortunately he got rejected. Okay, and this youth feels he deserved he deserved to have gotten that job, and he feels motivated. He said he's not going to go out to search for in search for other job. What advice would you give a youth in this scenario?
Okay, so I will answer that question in two phases. Now,
Okay.
first and foremost, why do certain youths get rejected during interviews, right?
Yes.
Sometimes they go to that interviews unprepared. Unprepared in the sense that because you were called for interview, you just opt and you went for the interview. You didn't research about the company that was calling you for the interview. You just went for interview because you were called. Sometimes even your dressing matters when you go for interviews. You understand? You cannot be going for an interview and you're wearing Crocs. You are flying your shirts. You are going with dreadlocks. You are going with right? Sometimes your appearance also matter when you go for interviews because it is those appearance that will make sure that they take you very seriously. So you need to know the interview and how their culture is and how they dress. If you have seen them wearing Crocs, you can dress in Crocs. If you have seen them flying their shirts, you can do that. But it is very important that you present yourself in a formal way when you go for interviews. And then the interview, no matter how intelligent at the interview late, it is the interviewer that is waiting for you to come. You will not get the job because it's part of it's part of the soft skills that they are looking for. Or when you get to the interview, then they ask you something, you begin to mouth people around you. Nobody's going to give you that job. Or when you go, you are unsure of the facts that you have written on your CV. Some of us go and copy and paste CVs, like I said. So when you now come to the interview and they are going through your CV, even you don't know what is written, right? Those are certain. Or while you're seated in the interview, you are using your cell phone. They are interviewing you. You are pressing your cell phone. You are pressing your cell phone. The interviewers are looking at your actions. Or when you get in there, your body language, you have poor body language. Some of you will say, what is that? When you go inside the interview, you are looking very timid. You are looking as if somebody is going to cut your neck when you are there. When you want to talk, your voice is down, you are looking down, you are not doing eye contact, and they are asking you to sit down, you are doing like allow me to use the word millipede. You understand? Your body language is very, very important, because whoever is going to give you that job needs to see confidence from you. You talk too much. I'm just trying to go this route so that some of you see why you are not selected. And when you are there, you talk too much. Blah, 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 you are talking. You are not even allowing the interviewer to interview you as expected, but you are just, you are you understand? Those are some of the things that you think don't matter during an interview, but the interviewer, it matters to him a lot. And so you might be very good, but once you showcase some of what I've just said, no matter how good you are, you are not a you are not going to be to fit into that organization. It's always good to know about the organization before you go, and then develop certain traits that will help the interviewer see you beyond your qualification. It's very important that they see you beyond your qualification. You can have the best qualification and don't present yourself in the manner that is expected, and you might not just get the job. Now, coming back to Mr. Stevens' question to say, how do you stay motivated? When you try and you don't succeed, young people, you will dust yourself up and try again. It's very important that you dust yourself up and try again. Now, another thing for you to do is to have the boldness to ask why you were not selected. You understand? You can walk back to the interviewer, explain why you think you should have gotten the job, and let them explain why you didn't get the job. Now, if they do that, it will give you an area to go back and correct yourself and improve yourself for another interview. Because it's not, once you fail once, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, but it's a stepping stone for you to get better jobs. So always ask questions. Even during the interviews, it is very important that you ask questions, because asking questions means that you can. It's telling the interviewer that this person has an inquisitive mind to understand. So dust yourself up and try again. It's not the end of the world. You can always get even better offers for what you have, but always be bold to ask why you failed in the first place, because asking that is what is going to help you build yourself for the next battle in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. I mean, what came out strong for me is developing the ability to ask why. I never thought about this. I mean, for a young person after the interview to ask why he was rejected, I think that is just a wow moment for me, and I want to believe that every youth who will listen to this, I mean, we take this to heart. So, Alia, how are you preparing? How are you preparing for the job market, the labor market?
All right, sir. I am equipping myself by carrying out this.
Elias' network is not good.
Yeah, Alia, I think you need to just fix your network issue. We can't hear you, Alia. It's unfortunate. I think that network issue has to be fixed. Okay, it has to be fixed. So, coming back to Madam Sarah, thank you for all the insights you have shared so far. Now, let me
Can
ask
you hear me now, sir?
second to the last question I want to ask you. I mean, we are celebrating the United Nations Youth Skills for Peace and Development. How will you relate, okay, acquiring relevant skills and fostering global peace?
Okay, for when it comes to young people, we need to think of, like I said, they are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, where you have a lot of unrest in the world today is normally among youths. Yeah, it's normally among young people. Sorry, Mr. Steven, can you take the question again? I didn't get the last part.
Okay, since we are celebrating, okay, the United Nations Youth Skills for Peace and Development, okay, how will you
Yes.
relate acquiring relevant skills and fostering global peace? How are they related?
Okay, so thank you. I just didn't get the last part. Now,
Okay.
for youth, for certain skills, for peace, for certain skills like leadership skills. Let me go through that route. Like leadership skills, for example, like teamwork skills, like adaptability skills. Young people need to look inwards first to say, what can I give? What is my strength? How can I contribute my quota to developing peace in the universe? You need to think of that, because there are some young people who are actually good leaders, but having that level playing ground for them to be is always a problem. But when you have leadership skills, you need I think we need to create forums for them to exhibit these skills, and not always push them aside to see people what do they know. We need to create avenues for them to showcase these skills among themselves. For you to combat certain problems, you really need to use that peer group to arrest it. If globally there's global unrest, the youth will not listen to any old people. They will not listen to baby boomers. But when they see space talking about peace, conflict resolution, you understand, they begin to tell themselves, oh, why? I think I can do this, right? They see young people. Okay, let me take the president of France, for example, Emmanuel Macron. They must have seen something in him as a leader to be that young. You understand? And then if you take the Kenyan president, he's in his 40s. Am I right? So when we develop such skills, it will be out there. People will see it, and then they can they can see them, and create avenues for these young people to be part of peace and conflict resolutions. I think the onions lies on leaders to harness them while they are still young, so that they can be used globally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Sarah. Now, this last question, please, viewers from our Facebook page, our Instagram handle, and our uh, IG channel, please. This is time where you can ask your questions. Just type in your question, and our HR practitioner, Mrs. Sarah Bitrus, is ready to take these questions and answer them. So, this last question, Madam Sarah, what advice would you give a young person like Alia, who is going to hopefully after 1 year go and sit before a panel of interviewers? How should she negotiate for her salary?
Okay, salary negotiation, I would say it's industry specific. In some young people, let me use that word. Some young people feel, because I have a first class million because of my degree. Young men and young women, most employers will always ask you for experience. Now, some of you don't have that experience, and some of you cannot negotiate salaries at a very high level. Now, if you are a new job seeker, like, remember I said, it's always important that you ask questions in an interview. It's your right to ask questions. Please ask, right? Your first questions will normally, if you are a job seeker and you don't have any experience and you are trying to acquire experience, I will advise you to simply ask what your salary will be like. Always ask questions, please. Always ask to say, okay, this is the job, yes. You are hiring me, yes. So what is the salary structure like? Where will I be placed? You understand? So that gives you a standpoint on where to negotiate your salaries. Then if you are already working and you are, like I said, salaries are industry specific. If the oil sectors pay 1 billion, we will in other private sectors cannot pay you 1 billion. So because you think you have a first class degree, it doesn't give you an avenue to say that your salary should be 10 million. Meanwhile, you don't you your experience is zero. So always ask questions during interviews to know where they can place you, how much you are going to get. Ask for your, in fact, you can ask for your remuneration look like in an interview. So it gives you an insight. If you feel that that is a little bit lower from what you were expecting, at that point you can begin to, to negotiate it. It's at that point you can negotiate. Always ask first to say, okay, so what is the salary for this position? The interviewer of 30,000 naira. Knowing the kind of person you are, knowing the understanding, you can say, oh, a little bit higher. Can it be 50,000? At that point in time, you are negotiating. You will definitely come to a point where you and the interviewer will strike a balance. Always ask a question in the interview. Don't go and say that, please, oh, my salary, is it going to be 1 million? No. How is the salary scale? Where how much do I stand to get? What is my total remuneration? What's my total package? So it gives you a start point for negotiation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, viewers from all across all our channels, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, please keep your questions coming. And you will see our customer care number scrolling across the bar now. I mean, you can reach us via text, via call, via WhatsApp, and our customer service representative is there to receive all your calls or queries as the case may be. Alia, can I ask you this question? I did ask how you are preparing for the job market.
Yes, sir.
I hope your network is better now.
It is better, sir.
Okay, tell me, how are you preparing from all you have heard from a HR practitioner now? Has that shifted your perspective, and what are you going to do better? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Sorry. There's a glitch from that still coming from. So, Madam Sarah, one last question again. What is NYSC doing to empower the youth in Nigeria?
Okay, as I would say, if you come to NASCO, even though we are in the far north, what you first of all see is that we are a global village. We have reduced, in fact, we are a mini Nigeria. We have everybody here. Now, as far as youths are concerned, we have this is one of them. What we are doing now is trying to educate the youths to know that the job market is challenging, and we are trying to equip the youths on those things that they require to make them relevant even in the job market. That's part of what we are doing now. We have other training programs for our youths, training programs of upskilling and understand the world is becoming a global village. Things are being automated. We need to keep with time, and so we need to empower our workforce so that our workforce is relevant. So we don't have outdated people in our systems. So what we are doing is upscaling and understand. So we have so many programs, mainly through training, on the job, off the job, to ensure that first and foremost that the youth within NASCO, because you have to arrange your house before you can go out to arrange another person's house. So that's what we're doing. So what we do with our youth will give us a rippling effect even outside NASCO in a population of close to 1,000 staff. You expect that once you educate this 1,000 people, you expect that it will have a rippling effect in their families, in their communities. So that's what we're doing. We are doing as much as we can to educate the youth within NASCO, and then the community do that with the communities around us. We have several programs that we are looking at to say that the community around us, how can we empower the youth? What can we do with the youth? Can we bring them together through sports? We have our NASCO Red Crown. Those are purely youth, and one way or the other, we are imbibing and putting skills in them that will help them to achieve better things tomorrow, and that will also equip them in fitting into this workforce that is becoming narrow because of soft skills. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sarah Bitrus. And one of such is Alia. One of such results, one of this outcome, or about what you've said is Alia. Alia is currently a youth corps member who is serving with us. It's just unfortunate that her network is having some issues, but Alia is currently serving with NASCO Group, and I am trusting, and we know that through what you've said, Alia is being transformed into a better candidate, a better citizen for the future. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, our listeners. Thank you, those who are watching us, who are listening to us from our Facebook, YouTube, as well as our Instagram handle. If you've joined us up until now, we want to appreciate every one of you. You will see this number scrolling now, okay? And then you are a young person and you know this slogan about urgent 2K. So for the first 10 people who will send their name, okay, and their phone number to our customer service line via WhatsApp that is scrolling now, okay, we'll send you urgent 2K, okay, to your bank account. The first 10 people who will send, okay, their phone number, your name, your location, okay, if you've waited up until now, you know, we will send you an urgent 2K. So, Madam Sarah, thank you very much for your time. Alia, thank you so much for your time. And thank you, everyone who has watched up until now from all over the world. We are going to leave the recording of this session, okay, because we know as many young people, as many job seekers, as many even employers all over the world, we want to glean from the insights that has been shared by our seasoned HR practitioner, Mrs. Sarah Bitrus, and Alia, who is a recent graduate currently undergoing her 1-year mandatory youth service. Thank you immensely. Thank you so much for joining us today for this special live streaming session on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube handles, okay, while celebrating or commemorating the United Nations Youth Skills Day. It's been a truly enlightening discussion on the theme of youth skills for peace and development. A huge thank you to our incredible guest, Mrs. Sarah Bitrus. Thank you very much. The insights you shared were out of this world. Your insights into what employers are looking for and the skills that are most valuable in today's job market have been incredibly helpful. And Miss Alia, thank you immensely. Your journey through the NYSC and your preparation for entering the labor market has provided a real and relatable perspective for so many young people tuning in today. At NASCO Group, we are dedicated to supporting and empowering the youth of Nigeria. Today's session is just one of the many ways that we strive to contribute to the growth and development of our nation. Remember, the skills you develop today will not only help you secure employment, okay, but also contribute to building a peaceful and prosperous society. We hope you have gained valuable knowledge and feel inspired to continue developing your skills. Stay connected with us across all our social media handles, our Facebook page, our Instagram handle, and then our YouTube channel, okay, while you continue to develop your skills and your knowledge. Okay. okay, across all our programs. And thank you again for being with us. Keep striving, keep learning, and keep growing. Together, we can build a better future for ourselves and our dear country, and of course, Africa and the world at large. Until next time, when we come your way again, stay safe and take care. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye.